Hello and welcome to tonight's show where we delve into the thrilling world of utility companies. Yes, I know it's not exactly skydiving with otters, but stick with me. You might be surprised by just how fascinating and, dare I say, dramatic the world of utilities can be. These companies, responsible for our electricity, gas and water, hold a surprising amount of economic power. They are the silent giants of our modern world, ensuring that our homes are lit, our stoves are hot and our taps are flowing. We're talking monopolies, guaranteed profits and enough political sway to make a lobbyist blush. These companies have a unique position in the market, often operating without competition, which allows them to set prices and policies with little resistance. So buckle up, because things are about to get, well, mildly infuriating. Imagine opening your utility bill and feeling a sense of dread, knowing that no matter how much you try to conserve, the costs keep rising. Think of it this way. While you're sweating over your monthly energy bill, these companies are raking in the dough, thanks in part to a system practically designed to keep them flush with cash. Regulatory frameworks often ensure that they can pass on costs to consumers, guaranteeing their profitability. We're talking about a level of financial security most of us can only dream of, like finding a $20 bill in your pocket, except that $20 is actually 20 billion, and it came from your grandma. These companies have deep pockets and their executives enjoy lavish lifestyles funded by the essential services they provide. Don't worry, we'll explain it all, and by the end you'll be as fired up as a faulty transformer. We'll explore how these companies operate, the regulatory environment that supports them, and the impact on everyday consumers like you and me. To understand the present, we need to take a quick trip back in time. The origins of utility companies date back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when the need for organised and reliable services became apparent. These early companies laid the groundwork for the massive entities we see today. Fast forward to today and the landscape has changed dramatically. Technological advancements have revolutionised how utilities operate, making them more efficient but also more complex. The infrastructure that supports our daily lives is a marvel of modern engineering. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and not everyone is happy with how these companies wield their influence. Communities across the country have voiced their concerns about rising rates, environmental impact and the lack of competition in the market. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are also stories of innovation and hope. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind are becoming more prevalent, offering a glimpse into a future where utility companies might operate more sustainably and equitably. At the end of the day, utilities are about more than just profits and politics. They're about people. They're about ensuring that families can live comfortably and safely. So, as we navigate through the complexities of this industry, let's not forget the human element at its core. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the cushy kingdoms of utilities, uncovering the secrets behind their success and the challenges they face. It's a journey that promises to be as enlightening as it is eye-opening. Let's talk profit margins, shall we? You know, those crucial numbers that can make or break a company's financial health. They are the lifeblood of any business, the ultimate indicator of success or failure. You know, that magical number that tells you how much money a company actually makes after paying for stuff. It's the difference between revenue and expenses, the sweet spot that every business aims to maximize. Well, for most businesses, a good profit margin is, good. It means they're doing something right, managing their costs effectively and generating enough revenue to stay afloat and grow. But for utility companies, good is apparently synonymous with obscenely large. We're not talking about a modest 5% or 10% here, no. These companies often enjoy profit margins that would make any other business green with envy. We're talking double-digit profit margins year after year. Consistent, reliable and almost guaranteed. It's like they've found the secret formula to endless profitability. How do they do it? 2 words: regulated pricing. This is the magic wand that transforms their financials from ordinary to extraordinary. See, in most industries, prices are set by the market, that beautiful dance of supply and demand. It's a dynamic, ever-changing landscape where businesses must constantly adapt to survive. But utilities, oh no, they're special. They operate in a different realm altogether, one where market forces take a back seat to regulatory decisions. They get to operate as monopolies, meaning they're often the only game in town. No competition, no market pressures, just a steady stream of customers who have no choice but to use their services. And to protect consumers from these monopolies, wink wink, government regulators step in to set prices. In theory, this is supposed to keep things fair and reasonable for everyone. Sounds good in theory, right? The idea is to prevent these companies from exploiting their monopoly power and charging exorbitant rates. Except those regulators often end up approving rates that ensure utilities make a tidy profit. It's a delicate balancing act, but one that often tips in favor of the utility companies. It's like letting the fox guard the hen house if the fox also got to wear a monocle and charge the hens exorbitant rent. The system is designed to protect consumers, but in practice it often ends up benefiting the utilities more. This isn't a new phenomenon. The relationship between utilities and regulators has been evolving for decades, shaped by political, economic, and social forces. And while consumers may grumble about their high utility bills, the reality is that these companies have a lot of leverage. They provide essential services that people can't live without, giving them a unique position of power. So, the next time you see a utility company boasting about their impressive profit margins, remember the story behind those numbers. It's a tale of regulated pricing, monopoly power, and a system that often favors the fox over the hens. In the end, it's a complex dance between regulation and profit, one that continues to shape the landscape of our modern economy. And as long as utilities remain essential, their profit margins will likely stay higher than a kite at a power plant. Now, let's talk about who's reaping the benefits of these hefty profits. Hint, it's not the folks fixing power lines in a blizzard. Nope, it's the executives, lounging in their climate-controlled offices, who are laughing all the way to the bank. We're talking multi-million-dollar salaries, bonuses that would make a Wall Street banker blush, and enough stock options to make a small country jealous. Meanwhile, the average utility worker, they're struggling to make ends meet, facing stagnant wages and rising healthcare costs. It's a classic tale of two utilities, those at the top swimming in cash, while those on the ground are left holding the very expensive wires. It's enough to make you want to start a worker-owned cooperative, powered entirely by righteous anger. Section 4. Infrastructure spending. Your bill, their playground. But wait, you might be thinking, don't utilities need all that money to maintain our aging infrastructure? Well, yes and no. See, they do spend money on infrastructure, but it often comes with a hefty price tag for consumers. They'll propose these massive, multi-billion-dollar projects, claiming they're essential for reliability and safety. And guess who gets to foot the bill? That's right, you, the ratepayer. It's like your landlord saying they need to renovate the building, so they're tripling your rent, but then they only end up replacing a few light bulbs and calling it a day. And the worst part, those infrastructure investments often come with a guaranteed rate of return for the utility, meaning they profit even more from the upgrades they claimed were absolutely necessary. It's a win-win for them and a lose-lose for your wallet. Section 5. Taxpayer money fueling the utility bonfire. Hold on, because it gets even better, or worse, depending on your perspective. You see, the story of utility companies and taxpayer money is a tale as old as time, filled with twists and turns that would make any thriller novel jealous. Not only do utilities get to operate as monopolies with guaranteed profits, but they also get a helping hand from, you guessed it, the government. This cozy relationship between big utilities and government officials is not just a modern phenomenon, it has roots that go back decades. That's right, taxpayers are essentially subsidizing these already profitable companies through a complex web of tax breaks, credits, and other financial incentives. These financial perks are often buried deep within the fine print of legislation, making it difficult for the average citizen to even realize what's happening. These subsidies are often justified as a way to promote clean energy or modernize the grid. On the surface, it sounds like a noble cause, right? After all, who wouldn't want to support initiatives that aim to reduce our carbon footprint and ensure a more sustainable future? But in reality, they often end up padding the bottom lines of already wealthy corporations. The funds that are supposed to be used for innovation and infrastructure improvements frequently get diverted to executive bonuses and shareholder dividends. It's like giving a billionaire a coupon for a free yacht. Sure, it might incentivize them to buy another yacht, but do they really need the help? This analogy might sound absurd, but it's not far from the truth. The rich get richer while the average taxpayer foots the bill. It's enough to make you wonder if the only renewable energy source these companies haven't figured out how to monetize is our collective outrage. And that outrage is growing. People are starting to wake up to the fact that their hard-earned money is being funneled into the coffers of already wealthy corporations, all under the guise of public good. Communities are beginning to organize, demanding transparency and accountability from both their government representatives and the utility companies. They are asking tough questions and pushing for reforms that would ensure taxpayer money is used for its intended purpose. Imagine a world where subsidies truly went towards advancing renewable energy projects, where every dollar spent had a measurable impact on reducing emissions and creating a sustainable future. It's not an impossible dream, but it requires vigilance and active participation from all of us. So the next time you see a headline about utility companies and government subsidies, remember that there's more to the story. It's a complex web of interests and incentives, but with enough public pressure, we can untangle it and ensure that our money is used for the greater good. Together we can fuel a different kind of bonfire, one that lights the way to a fairer, more transparent and sustainable future for everyone.